It's week 2 of the NFL preseason, and a pair of teams looking to bounce back after poor showings in week 1. More on that in just a moment. Mark Zinno here for WagerTalk YouTube and Picks and Parlays, as we'll break down two matchups in the preseason. In the NFL in week 2, one between the Panthers and Jaguars, another between the Packers and Broncos. I'll have plays and selections in both those games coming up in just a moment. I always need to remind you guys to check out the Morning Wager. The easiest way to do this is make sure you hit that subscribe button so every time a video here on WagerTalk YouTube pops up, you guys are alerted of the great content that we have coming. But also, when you check out the Morning Wager, you're going to get 3 free plays every single show. That's what we do. We try to hand you guys winners. 60% of those free plays since the beginning of the year have been cashing tickets. So you tune into the show, you're guaranteed to put some winners in your pocket. We also go down every play, every game on the board, try to give you guys different angles to look at, both Major League Baseball right now. As we start getting the NFL, we'll look at every game there as well. And of course, we offer you guys the best deal possible. It's a buy one, get one 3-day pass with me and Brian Power. It's right there on your screen, and I'm going to put it back again. You see that right there. You get all of my plays, all of Brian Power's plays for one price. It's the best deal available out there. You're getting 2 cappers for the price of one. In fact, guys, this is the only deal where on a day-to-day basis you can get 2 cappers for the price of one. That's why this is one of the most unique deals out there. Nobody else is offering deals like this, so take advantage of it. And by the way, it's there every single day. You can get it today. You can get it tomorrow. You can get 3 days, then roll it over for another 3 days. It's all there for you. Speaking of deals, it's time to check out this deal for the rest of the year. Now, all the way through December 31st. It's a huge deal, guys, because you're getting so much here. You get the entire college football regular season, all of bowl season, including the college football playoff games on New Year's Eve. Just immense amount of value. 17 of the 18 weeks of the NFL regular season. You get the beginning of hockey in the NHL and the NBA, and, of course, all the great college basketball tournaments that are going on that kick the season off between the top 25 teams, all those amazing tournaments that we watch. You're going to get all of that. It's a long-term play. It's long-term value. You got to think in those terms. But if long-term isn't your thing, you want something a little shorter, the summer special is still available to you guys through August 31st. You asked us to extend it. We did. 6 days, $69. Every play, every sport, includes all 5% best bets. This is the reason why you guys want to take advantage of this. Just a reminder here that it is Friday. And guess what? Tuesday is not that far away. Remind you guys now, $5 Tuesday. Every site that we have, every single individual play is worth $5. Make sure you guys take advantage. Of course, I want to tell you about one more thing before we get into the games, and that is the Splash Sports $21 million Pro Football Survivor Contest. Use the password WagerTalk. You get $100 in Splash Sports as well. BP and I have an entry, and the great thing about this contest, you guys can do shares. You can do it with one other person like BP and I have. You can split it between 5 people. You can split it between 10 people. Takes that cost and cuts it all the way down and makes it a lot more manageable. So you can do shares with partners and teammates. Totally okay. You can do it from anywhere. You don't need to be in Vegas. You don't need a proxy. All that stuff is available to you. So make sure you guys take advantage of that deal. All right, let's take a look at the numbers here on the opening matchup we're going to talk about between Carolina and Jacksonville here in the NFL. Right now, we're seeing, as of recording this video, Carolina is a 1.5-point favorite. A couple of ones hanging out there. Looks like Jacksonville opened as a 2.5-point favorite, and they are going to, everything is flipped. Total sitting right now at, I see 36.5. I see 37. I see 37.5. Consensus looks like it's 37. Now, what's interesting here is that the Jaguars were not going to play their starters. Now it looks like they are, at least for a series. That's what everything that we're seeing is indicating that the Jaguars plan on starting Trevor Lawrence here for just a hot minute. Not sure how long they're going to play and what we expect of them. I don't think it's going to be long. Liam Cohen, the coach of the Jaguars, said he doesn't want them to have to play that long. Remember, this is a Panthers team, by the way, that even though they won the Hall of Fame game, we kind of throw that one out. They were beaten pretty handily by Buffalo on the road last week. The Jaguars beat the Saints 24-20. They were trailing the first half. Jaguars came all the way back in the second half. Again, no Trevor Lawrence in that game. And I think what we're looking at here, and I think the biggest thing to be concerned with at this point in time, the Panthers defense has given up 30 points and 29 points in back-to-back preseason games. I don't know if that's going to get any better here, especially if they're not playing a lot of their starters, that they are going to have to figure out a way to be able to stop people. Now, when you look at the Jaguars and what they have going on in this game, you're going to get a lot of backups in this game, obviously. And you're going to see probably a lot of Joey Aguilar, along with Carter Bradley and Nick Mullins. Joey Aguilar is a project for Liam Cohen. these are guys that want to show out. They want to prove that they belong on an NFL roster. So, they're going to be playing at a high level, whatever snaps they take and for however long they're in there. And I think that is something to evaluate here. Whereas when you look at Carolina, you look at, in particularly the position of quarterback, you're looking at a situation here where, from a backup perspective, some of these guys are a little bit more settled. Like Kenny Pickett pretty much has the backup job. Kyle Trask has a spot on this roster. So there's less concern for these guys to play at the highest of levels. Just be safe, be smart, take care of the football and everything else. It doesn't look like there's going to be a ton for them here. I lean on the Jaguars in this spot, even as a dog. I think that this is a spot here where they have the better defense by far. And they have, a spot here where their defense can take advantage, the Jaguars, of a Panthers team that's, just not as good as they are. I have high expectations of this Jaguars team. I think they're going to be good. I would tend to think too, as well, that with the second preseason game, the way coaches treat this after they see the first one, this is the one where I think defenses, sort of take over a little bit more, because they're playing a lot more backups here, and you're playing guys who are fighting for jobs. So you get a much more spirited effort. I think that's something you take into account here when we talk about the total in this game. Again, we're seeing the money come in on the under. It's dipping. Again, 37 and a half out there at a very popular sports book. But we're starting to see, and you can see even the first half is down to 18 and a half. They think it's not going to be high scoring early, and it's probably not going to be high scoring late. And so I would tend to think that this is a spot where you can look to the under in this game between these two teams. All right, let's flip it over to the other matchup here between Green Bay and Denver. Denver, now, it's interesting here. The Broncos opened as a 4.5-point favorite. This thing ballooned all the way up to 6.5. And now it's starting to come back down. I'm seeing 5.5, 6 consensus. Even the prediction market is at 4.5 with the number here. Part of that is the reason is that Bo Nix is going to start for the Broncos. He's going to play in this game. And I don't know that even if he only plays a series, it's like, what are we really evaluating here? But obviously that's something that has changed the course of the line and made it a little bit different. So I think that's something to evaluate in this matchup between these two teams. Jordan Love also going to play for Denver in this one. And I just, this number seems too big for me. I know Denver last week beat the hell out of the Falcons, but I think that's more of a reflection of the Falcons and how bad they looked than necessarily how good Denver is going to be in this spot. I mentioned what these two teams did last week. Green Bay had an embarrassing effort against the Steelers, 28-9. They only managed 3 field goals in the game. And again, Broncos beat the hell out of the Falcons, 27-7. And it was never even close from the jump. I think you get a much closer game here. I think this is a spot here where we see Green Bay have a much better effort. And Sean Payton, even though, this is a guy who coaches to win no matter what, like last week, I think that there was more of it's Sean Payton going back to Atlanta as the former Saints coach and wanting to, you heard him at halftime, a lot of people dressed up as empty seats, wanting to needle them. I don't think in this game he even has the slightest interest in the way he did against the Falcons. So I would move quick on this, and I would take the best number you can. If there's a 6.5 out there, I would absolutely recommend getting on it as soon as you can, because I think that's absolutely a number that is going to be the best of the number that you can get. But I lean on Green Bay in this spot. Even though Denver is home, I think they are a team that's going to be a lot more looking just to evaluate guys and necessarily worry about winning a game. And Green Bay probably wants to play a little bit better than they did last week. Reminder for you guys to go ahead and check out the morning wager. Take advantage of the buy one, get one 3-day pass. Me and Brian Power, it's all right there for you. And don't forget, make sure you enter the Pro Football Survivor contest on Splash Sports. $21 million. Use that code WagerTalk, and you get a $100 bonus over on Splash Sports. Best of luck with all your NFL preseason bets. Go cash some tickets. We'll talk to you next time.